Brian, how's it going, buddy?
Excellent, sir. Excellent.
All right. Are you ready to start the show?
I am, my friend.
All right. Well, let's throw in that music. Welcome to the Fandemic Presents Prevenge of the Nerds. We are your one-stop podcast where every week we are going to give you all the things to level up your awesome. You can also order my kids' book, Leveling Up My Awesome, on Amazon for $7.99, or contact me for directly for an autographed copy. But today and tomorrow, you can get a free download of my book, Leveling Up Your Awesome, Leveling Up My Awesome, for free on Kindle.
And first off, shameless plug number one, but just a little information. I keep your book next to my bed every night, and I would like to do a shameless plug for Bradley's book, Level Up Your Awesome. The reading you can do a bit that you don't have to erase your browser history.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. For starters, we'll give you our war report. That's right. The What's Awesome report for the week with all the who's it's and what's it's. If it's awesome, we got to talk about it. And there was some awesome things that happened.
Very much. Very much.
Once you find out what's awesome, then we are going to our prevenge part of the show and tell you all the stories that could have led to your favorite movies, TV shows, and so much more. It might be a list, it might be a pitch. One thing is for sure, your awesome will be leveled due to this. And then we're going to get into our pitch, fix, or ditch. We look at some type of property, we'll pitch something to do with it, we'll fix what needs to be fixed, and then make it worse. Yes, we'll puff it. The patent is pending. Now, I am the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butin, and this is my co-host with the unverified twin of Shamar Moore, at least in the nipples.
Brian S. Dennis with the S stands for Aemon Targaryen.
Nice, very nice. I haven't watched a new episode of House of the Dragon.
Okay, all right. So this is in my war report.
Okay.
I will not spoil it, but I will tell you this. As always, Aemon Targaryen has proven to be the true one-eyed bandit. All right. So with that being said, sir, how are you, my tag team partner?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. It was a busy weekend. I had a wedding for my nephew. My nephew got married.
I saw that.
Yeah, Blaine Reagan. I wish you the best. And other than that, I did my big Lyle crocodile thing at work, and went off really well. A lot of kids come through. I had one parent get pissed because I had like a little putt thing.
Yeah.
And it was for like a $5 arcade card for the kids if they make it in the putt hole, right? Not making it very difficult. I had a dad get pissed because the movie was just about ready to start, and there's 3 kids waiting to go, and he wanted to go. I'm like, this is
wait, hang on, this is for the kids.
Yeah. Apparently, he thought I was going to give him a $5 gift card or arcade card for doing it. And I'm like, no.
Or kids putt, really.
Yeah. So, but other than that, it went off really well.
But we're worried about not my aerial. Okay.
Right, exactly. Oh, man, it's a whole new world.
Ding. Okay. Yes. I'll give you that one. All right, sir. By the way, is Ariel like conflict free tuna? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. And since we try to keep this as clean as possible,
in every follow up I have for that, yeah, we'll stop there. All right.
Right.
Sir.
But first, Brian, did you know that the year 2023 is going to bring a Back to the Future musical?
I had not heard of this. A Back to the Future musical.
Yes, we are getting a Back to the Future musical. Obviously, Johnny B. Good will be in there.
Yes.
Also, do you know what the 2 reasons that you should never drink toilet water are?
It's toilet water and it's water from the toilet. Thank you for that scroll. Cause it's just
I'll be a little
brother, man.
proactive for that.
I love you to death, man. But okay,
Number
no,
one and number two.
Bradley. Yeah,
Number one and number two are the two. Did you just hit a brick wall?
you know what they say, sir. I am just another brick in the wall. Yes,
Right.
sir. Wow,
That-
that was you turned me to a crash test dummy against the brick wall right there. Whatever happened to both the group, the crash test
Mhm.
dummies, and the actual like commercials featuring
Right. Well,
the crash test dummies?
I said the best I could do for it was once there was this kid who
See the scroll
I
you
don't-
did a moment ago. This week you hit it again.
okay,
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah. We mean
you know
one
what?
more. Yeah, I don't think it's only going to be twice this episode, man. So
oh, you know what? Darn it, that would have been great for what I had planned for you later.
okay.
But yeah, that I don't know. I am curious. Whatever happened? What did ever happen to the crash test?
We're gonna have to do like a where are they now without actually figuring out because that requires
Right.
work. But
Right.
we have really got to figure out like where they now, like groups like the crash test dummies and you know those two brothers who are in the back of the Black Eyed Peas, like not Will I Am or Fergie, but
Right.
you know the ones who look like would have been Up with People like 50 years
Mhm.
earlier. And if you don't know who Up with People are, go away. You know that one, or what happened to McLovin? Like last we saw him, he was fighting
Dude, he looks so
Kick-Ass.
different.
He was fighting
I
Kick-Ass, and we've seen him since then.
so I saw him in one of on TikTok doing the teenage dirtbag thing,
Sure.
and I did not recognize him at all. And I mean, I probably watched it like 5 or 6 times. Like, no, what? Like, okay, I can kind of see it. I'm like, damn, that's McLovin. Yeah.
When your peak is going to be either you were McLovin or you dress up in bondage gear and call yourself the motherfucker. Like that may be unique career highlights, for him. I mean, by the way, if you played third banana to Jonah Hill, not even second, you were third banana
Yeah.
to Jonah Hill. And we're not talking about Wolf of Wall Street level acting, folks. Not Lords of War, but in Superbad, you were, yeah.
I bet he's still cashing those royalty checks though.
Oh, you better believe that. Oh, you
buddy.
better believe, yeah. You know what? And seriously, at some point, we know it's going to be some tragic reality show in about 6 years. You got to see Christopher Mintz-Plasse going, "I am McLovin." It's going to be a thing, and that just hurt my throat.
I bet. Well, you know what, Brian? Do you have any honest advertising for us today?
I have one as I take a sip from my infinity mug.
Ooh, awesome. Let's do that, and then we will get into our what's awesome rapport.
Okay, so here is, and this was suggested to me to do an honest advertising for Amazon. And everything I'm quoting in this ad is real. Have you ever woken up at 2 a.m. wanting a pillow shaped like the head of Sigmund Freud?
Yes.
Would a tortilla-themed blanket give you sweet dreams?
Absolutely.
Are you thirsty for soda flavored like marshmallows, ranch dressing, or even hot sauce?
2 out of 3.
Then thank Jeff Bezos for the wonder of Amazon. Now we don't have to wait until sunrise or even leave the house for silly ass impulse buys. You can do them from the comfort of your own home. With a smartphone, credit card, and only 2 days of patience, by the way, after like day one, we're all losing our minds.
Mm-hmm.
You too can fill your life with utterly useless crap. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see you on a future episode of Hoarders. Honest ad for Amazon.
Well done, Brian. That very good, very good.
And I may
Uh,
have never meant this more than I'm about to say it right now. Jeff Bezos, please don't sue us. Okay, I need my Prime. Okay,
uh,
my kid's watching a movie behind me right now on Prime. I love me some Prime.
mm-hmm.
Don't don't make me have to go back to the store. I don't want to talk to people. And if you ever see what's in my car, it's a good reason why I order things from my home. Like just don't. Jeffrey El Jefe,
You have a
please.
beard. We have beards. I mean,
I mean, yeah, you
we're
know,
beard brothers.
yeah. I mean, it's okay. Hey, next, remember prenups. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm.
In fact, the before didn't do it.
Yeah, the. So now we need to scroll up the opinions of. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yep. So now I've got
uh,
the Black Illuminati and Jeff Bezos coming at me. All right, that's great. Save us from
awesome.
ourselves, Bradley. What's next?
All right. Well, let's get into our war report. Brian, what did you watch this last week?
All right, sir. So I spent a lot of my weekend grading tests. Yes, folks, I am a teacher. So I caught a few things that I really loved, and I got to start off with something we talked about. We try not to talk much about this offline, but since we were talking about this, we got to might as well start with it,
Yep.
which is the most recent episode of She-Hulk, which I think, and I hate to say do this for Madison, that has two ends and a Y, but it's not where you think it is. I gotta say, this may have trumped Madison's episode as my favorite episode of the season, which is the most recent episode of show. I think it was episode 7 or 8.
7. This is,
7.
and they introduced Marvel's version of Condiment King.
Yes, yes. And Bradley, why don't you just show? So the episode was basically She-Hulk being called in to help out Leapfrog. And
Yes.
yes, and not the kids thing that would help him read, if you remember that,
I do.
but a legit hero. And by the way, let's remember this exists in a world that there's a guy named Toad. Okay, so let's say they had other
Yeah.
amphibian-based
Right.
individuals to bring in, but this was a choice they made to give us
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
So
And I wish it
Bradley.
would have just went to the mutant toad.
Yeah, so now on top of this, we actually do have Marvel's first episode of a wardrobe malfunction. And for those that have not seen the episode, it has nothing to do with She-Hulk.
I mean, but it does
Okay.
have to do with your red rockets.
Yes, and there's nothing more than having the red leg. That burning sensation in the lower extremities. Sometimes you got to put a little salve on it.
Yeah.
And who hasn't had that happen after a night of free will and fun where you make a few bad decisions and you wake up the next day and your lower body's a little itchy,
Mhm.
burning, and you just have to seek the assistance from a medical professional.
Walking funny.
Yeah, walk a little funny.
Yeah.
And speaking of, towards the end of the episode, we actually got a little of when you're walking around carrying your shoes. That was fantastic. So anyway, again, Bradley, you want to hit the scroll. Spoiler alerts ahead.
Yes, that is a good idea.
But
Get back
I'll
there.
wait for the scroll to hit us because we're probably going to get into a few spoilers. So if you've not seen the episode, definitely go check out. As always, to give credit. If you don't know where She-Hulk can be found, it is on Disney Plus. So Bradley, so we find out She-Hulk and we get rid. By the way, the best catchphrase ever. I'm sorry, the characters play for humor, but I'm sorry. Gonna rivet and rip it. That is awesome. Okay, so let's pause real quick. We talked a lot about She-Hulk, but
Yeah.
let's pause. This is what this show does right. The
Mhm.
stuff that is meant to be absolutely silly is some of the best things. So we had, again, Madison, who
Mm.
was kind of the drunk party goal in the episode, about magic. Luke, the designer for, and I really hope we get Luke in a much more things. Madison as well. If Madison, as she likes to
Yeah.
call him, Wongers, don't get some type of spinoff, or I mean, that whatever will be the next Doctor Strange
Yeah.
or Shang-Chi or whatever we see Wong in next, she's got to be there. And real quick tangent. Um, they kept talking about, because I rewatched episodes quite a few, and it's one of my favorites. Remember, they really do it so quickly. But two things: when she shows up in Carmitage, she's got a beating heart in her hand that she drops quickly, and they kind of never talk about again. And later on, remember, she said she sold her soul to something. So, as much as they play in that character for comedy,
Hmm.
there's something there that I don't think they just do that to do it.
Right.
So, and by the fact she's with the Sorcerer Supreme, the Master of the Mystic Arts, I think maybe we get a longer. I feel like I'm talking about something that you would watch when you're not reading Leveling Up My Awesome, that you do need to get rid of your browser history for.
Right.
Kids, if you don't know, ask your parents. Or the creeper guy in the street. Just go knock on his door when you're completely alone.
Mm.
Make sure he knows that there's no adult supervision near you. Leave your phone at home, and the comments of Brian Dennis are okay. Anyway, um, so I think there definitely is something more coming with Madison and Wong. That being said, another character they struck gold with in this most recent episode of Playing with is Leapfrog,
Hmm.
just with that catchphrase, "Ribbit," the sound that frogs and I'm assuming toads make,
Yeah.
and "Rip it." That's fantastic, and of course the best ever hideout, the lily pad. I don't know, Bradley. I've not heard of this character in the comics. Do you
Hmm.
know, was he created just for the series, or does he actually exist in comics?
He
I've not
exists.
heard. Okay,
He exists, but very, very, very not known very much. As a matter of fact,
I bet he is now. I
yeah.
bet you he is now. Okay, so I spent far too much time talking about uh, Leapfrog. We had another character though. Reared their golden, or maybe even mustard colored head, Bradley, and who is that?
That would be Daredevil, the amazing
Daredevil,
Matt Murdock,
the
and
man without fear.
yes, he made a lot of the not a nerds very, very happy this last week.
The only thing I can say that made me geek out a little harder was when Steve Rogers finally says the line
Hmm.
in the game. But when he came in as first time, they did it perfectly. He
Hmm.
met, again, spoiler alerts, he made his debut not as Daredevil, but as Matt Murdock,
Hmm.
which is what you wanted to, because then you got two lawyers. So let's have him come in, and he made a great joke about, he got lost, couldn't find the place, blah blah blah. If you don't know why, again, why you listen to this podcast, but then we knew fairly quickly we were going to get Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock. We were definitely going to get She-Hulk and Daredevil, and we got that. And they just did everything just the way especially if you only got like a little over a half hour, they did so much right in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, man. The whole time I'm rooting for like, is this could be a spinoff for Heroes for Hire? Like
Absolutely.
this could be awesome. I mean, like I am
Absolutely.
down for this. Um,
Absolutely.
they did a great job with Daredevil. Do you think is this the same Daredevil from the Netflix shows?
I think 100% the same Daredevil.
Okay.
I think we will see more of that cast coming in. I think we will get kind of, and this is probably easily foreseeable with it. Marvel, they took some of the gritty edge. They didn't take it completely away,
Mm,
and I kind of like seeing again, same actor Charlie Cox. I really like seeing him because Daredevil's a heavy show. If you watch the Netflix one,
yeah.
whether it's Daredevil, The Defenders, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, we will not talk about Iron Fist. Those are heavy, gritty, like really rough shows, and they need to be with with the characters that they have, it was really nice to kind of see kind of a popcorn fight with Daredevil. He's in there, cars are being thrown, he's doing things up and down,
Hmm.
jumping around. We got to see, a lot of, and we got to see in both how the characters played out, but also just with the actors, a lot of really good chemistry between Daredevil and She-Hulk. And again, we won't spoil this for you, other than there was a lot of chemistry, and watch the show,
Hmm.
and the aftermath was phenomenal. Was phenomenal.
Yeah, man. I hope he shows back up for the finale. I don't think he
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Um,
He
but
was leaving. And again, spoiler. I think he was the
mm,
character. They were writing him out of the episode. I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah. But I know we're getting Abomination, and I know we're getting Hulk in the
Yes.
finale. So we'll see how that
Yes.
goes.
Yes.
So
So it was just great. Again, as much as I love the Madison episode, this without a doubt was my favorite. And for those of you that have been hating on the show because it doesn't have enough action, watch this episode. And this episode shows why shows take a minute to build. You don't go from 0 to 60. You do different things.
Andor, Andor, Andor. Oh, I'm sorry. I had something stuck in my throat that I was going to
Yeah,
take a drink of
yeah,
beer.
yeah. Are you? Was it a lily pad? Because Bradley, that's how you get warts. You want warts because that's how you get warts.
That is definitely how you get wards. Yeah.
Explain to your
Uh,
wife what you got. Never mind. We'll leave that one alone. All right.
oh
All right,
man. Well,
Bradley. What else you got?
Andor is getting better, but
Mhm.
still not.
Incredibly slow. I'm
I
an episode behind on Andor. It's just if I have to ramp myself up to watch a show, it's kind of like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I could really care less about the show so far.
yeah.
So, I think I'm at the point where I might even just wait till it's done if and
Just
then
binge
just
all of it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
House of the Dragon is on, or it came out last night, and I just
yep.
spaced it. So
You get,
I'll check that out tonight.
again, not to ruin this for my tag team partner, it was so they do, just to give you a quick little prep because they talk
Mhm.
about it really quickly. They do another time jump, to do a 6 year time jump with this one.
Oh,
So the kids
okay.
are all now between 17 and 21. So all the kids. So Damon's 2 daughters, Rhaenyra's um, 3 sons, and the 2 sons of the king are all adults now,
Mm,
and you ain't seen Shade like King's Landing Shade. And I will again stop here because I want you to watch it. We can chat about it offline.
okay.
But the reason that I said the S, it stands for Aemon Targaryen, which if you're not sure who Aemon is, he is he's the second child of Allison and the King.
Mhm.
He's the one that, again, real quick spoiler alert, he had a little bit of a mishap in the previous episode,
Yep.
and they
Soul
show him,
drinking.
yeah, and the consequence that happened. He's a big boy now, and he is, and let's say he takes a lot after his uncle when it comes to some badassery. He takes
Good.
and the fact that even the adult version they cast looks a lot like Matt Smith. I meant to Google to see if they are maybe cousins or somehow
Something.
related. Like, they look
Mm,
very much alike. So,
very cool. Very
I
cool.
mean, they don't play anything with parentage or anything like that, but
Yeah.
just, I mean, and you can see a lot of that personality. He is much more his uncle's
Mhm.
nephew than his father's son. When it comes to, just like Damon being the younger brother
Mhm.
of the king, he knows he's the second son of Aegon, and so, and everything he goes through as a kid hardens this young man in so many cool, awesome ways. He is now my favorite character. He is so cool.
Really?
That's all I'm gonna say. I probably
Okay.
said too much. Great
Okay.
episode, and a lot happens in 70 minutes. So definitely
Awesome.
check it out.
All right. Yeah. Rings of Power is really good. Then all the CBS shows came back. Survivor's back. Bad Blood or Blue Bloods is back.
Okay.
SWAT. Oh, with your dude, your brother, man, your twin brother, man.
I got asked today, was I Shamar? And for those of you that are first discovering it, again, we need to make this disclaimer. I am Brian Dennis. I am not Shamar Moore. I understand that the similarities are striking.
Hmm.
I promise, even though we have never seen me and Shamar Moore in the same place at the same time, I am not. Brian Dennis, podcast host. Shamar Moore, dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's probably not even how you do the theme song. Sounds in my head because again, I have my infinity mug. Okay, so yeah, so Shamar Moore, biracial angel, with a 9 pack. Brian
Hmm.
Dennis, podcast host with a with a beer stein or just rounds of shape. So we're all in shape. All right,
That's
sir,
right.
take it away.
Man, this one started really weird. I love SWAT, but it was different. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay,
Other than that, that was all really for shows. A couple movies, Terrifier 2. It's hard R. Wow. Eraser Reborn. Did you see that on HBO Max?
I have not watched that. I
Yeah.
Can I skip it?
Yeah.
And when it
Yeah.
says the Racer Reborn, I'm assuming this is a nod to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Vanessa Williams movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It should
this
have
was,
been
was why
Eraser Erased, but
this is this is
like,
this is why I didn't watch it. Okay, we've long said on the podcast, when you make a trilogy, you should stop at 2, right? If you make a movie based on Arnold Schwarzenegger and you cannot get Arnold Schwarzenegger, that tells you a lot about the product.
yeah, or at least like Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, when Arnold goes, no, no, I get to the chopper, like that should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
Right there. It's just, yeah. But
Yeah. I
yeah.
tried to watch it twice, and both times I was just like, this is I gave it two
So
fair
so are you
shots.
saying they did not save the best for last?
That is exactly what I am saying. They did not save the best to last. Arnold got to the chopper and flew
Yes.
off. Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you show the prequel of Predator, then you don't need Arnold for that. Okay.
You know
Uh
what? Let's pitch fix and ditch Eraser today.
That'd be great. That'd be
All right,
great.
cool.
Okay, a couple things for my part of the War Report. Just a couple way back throwbacks because I watched them. Number one, I wound up watching V for Vendetta. Just as always, such a great movie. If you've not seen V for Vendetta, further, you've not read the book, you're doing yourself a
Yeah.
disservice. But the movie is not quite Watchmen, where it's literally almost a scene for scene retelling, but it's really darn close.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving as V is just fantastic. Natalie Portman as Evie. I mean, there's just so many great things there. And again, we talk a lot about just those people that are really cool voices. We talk about again the person that would narrate both of our lives would not be Morgan Freeman. It would be one Samuel Jackson with an L stands for. But Hugo Weaving. I mean, think about just again V and V for Vendetta, the actual real Red Skull in the Marvel universe, Agent
Yeah.
Smith. I mean that iconic Elrond. Okay, all those. By the way, the real El. Back Rings of Power real quick, which is
Yeah.
also good.
Yeah.
It started off slow, it got better.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on the guy that played every. By the way, every character that's in Lord of the Rings was recast to a younger self for Rings of Power.
Mm.
But come on, you couldn't de-age Hugo Weaving. I mean, it's just so hard to buy the guy that plays Elrond without that voice. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I just want to hear him go, "What say you?" It's just tough. And every time I see a Sildor, I just want to see him do the double oaken door open thing. He's not done that yet. I just again, or as I call it, the Leia entrance at this point.
Yep. Yep. That is
So
correct.
that's what I want. Anyway, but definitely check out V for Vendetta, and another one that again is just awesome to watch is Watchmen. So I watched both of those recently. Watchmen, V for Vendetta. Watch it a little longer. V for
Mm-hmm.
Vendetta is fantastic. the cinematography, the acting, and last plug to give Hugo Weaving that introduction of that soliloquy where everything starts with the letter V. To do that as rapid fire as he did, and I don't know how many takes it took. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. He got it done. That right there had me when I watched the movie like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I had
Mhm.
my Big Bang moment there. Like, so yeah. So definitely check out for Way Back Throwback V for Vendetta.
Now, both of those are on HBO Max right now, I
They are.
believe.
They are.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are.
'Cause I remember seeing when the other day I saw V for Vendetta, and my wife has not seen that movie, so we are. It's a very probably coming up pretty quick for
It's
us.
and then like anything else in the world where we have a lot of PG and PG-13 rated heroes, V for Vendetta is major legally rated R.
Mhm.
For some violence, a little bit of language, it's mostly violence. Uh, but again, I would say if you're 15 and up, you can probably deal
Yeah.
with it. And a lot of it is really heavy political interest. And I remember when Beef Vendetta came out, George W. Bush was the president, and there was lots of criticism of the show and how dare they make this movie with this thinly veiled version of the American president. By the way, the American president isn't ever in the movie.
Mhm.
The movie takes place
Takes
in the
place in
UK.
England.
Yeah, yeah, but they were basically trying to say
Yeah,
High Chancellor Cutler was
yeah.
George W. Bush, to which many people come out and go, the book was written in I think the very early '80s and
Mhm.
maybe the late '70s, and this is pretty much a faithful interpretation and remake
Mhm.
of the book. So, like anything else, does protest too much. All right, sir.
Right, and just one thing to add on to that, if you aren't allowed to make fun of the president, no matter who is in there,
No matter
then
who it
something
is,
is wrong.
yes.
People should be making fun of whoever it is, whoever the president is. I mean, I don't care,
Yes,
RD, whatever.
yes. To
Do
quote
the
the
joke.
movie, people should not fear their government. The government is meant to fear the people. All right,
Yes.
because remember, and just a quick one, Globe, wherever you're at, you have any elections coming, remember, every sitting person that is duly elected to their role, when they're for election, that is a job interview.
Yeah.
That is we don't get political in the show because we just prefer to go on here, have fun, and again, drink from our infinity mugs. I got to pick up a mug that'll show up on screen better. But seriously, you cast you cast so much power with your vote, and make people earn your vote. And remember that again, every vote is every election is a job interview. So make them earn their money because that's their job. All right. So that was the
Yep.
Brian Dennis soapbox of the day, and I'm now extremely blurry for some reason, or my infinity mug is really kicked in this evening.
No,
So
you're blurry.
yeah.
Apparently people must be listening to us.
All right. So why don't you take us through to the next
All
part of
right,
our show,
I'll
sir?
see. All right. So last part of this of war, leveling up my awesome, my book. Do me a favor, review it, get in there, get it. It's free right now, so it's free. If you want to buy the paperback, that's $7.99. I'm going to be releasing a color book version of it here pretty soon. I'm going to try to get that knocked out this week. Also, there was a new episode of The Fandemic this last week. I interviewed the host of Crushgasm, and it was a super
Is
fun
that
talk.
is that anything similar to Herogasm?
Um, Sure, why not? No, no, it's all about like telling stories of who you were crushing on, in different situations. And she was awesome. We went deep into the '90s in our conversation.
Uh,
It was pretty awesome.
Topanga.
Oh,
Uh,
her name was brought up more than once.
okay, sir. Topanga or Winnie Cooper?
Winnie Cooper.
I gotta feel you. Topanga won just because I was then that nerd that thought about timelines and like
Mm,
okay, so that was in the '60s. So by the time the '80s came, it would have been a little weird. Uh,
yeah,
um, you know, plus Topanga was so nice. I thought maybe I had a chance.
yeah,
Like Winnie was a little. Winnie knew she was cute versus Topanga was kind of just nice.
yeah.
And
She
here's my
had
deal. I felt like this. I'm better looking than Corey.
Mhm.
Like, I got a shot here. I got a shot here. By the way, you got to give it to the Savage Brothers. They kind of ruled the crush game in the '90s, man.
Yeah.
Late '80s, early '90s. Yeah.
Well, and the thing with like Winnie Cooper, there was one season where she was a girl, and she came back the next season not a girl anymore.
No, she.
And-
Yes, yes. So even though I'm blurry, I will give you. I will give this is my quick interpretation of everyone and knowing exactly that moment. You're sitting there. You got your popcorn. You got your Kool-Aid. There's only one flavor of Kool-Aid, red. And yes, red is a flavor. And you're sitting there, and you go there, and you maybe got my family. You got maybe your popcorn. Maybe if you're really lucky, your mom splurged out a hot pocket that was never hot in the middle. And you go. And you sat there for the next 28 minutes with commercials.
yeah.
Okay, and at that point you realize that showers can be longer than 5 minutes. So
Yep.
with that being said, um, I'm glad to hear. And again, this comments of Brian Dennis or Brian Dennis is alone. So we may. I would love that. We should do a crush gasm version of this, not to steal someone else's deal, but who were the icons that we had? So that might be a tat I'll throw out next week for you, sir. Of who would have been your crush in this situation. I'm curious what young little Bradley.
Mm.
And by the way, you still would have had a beard. I feel like even you would have like 10 had a beard, at least one tattoo. I feel like you
Yeah.
would have had the full beard and one tattoo, even at 10 years old.
I mean, there. I'm not going to say that is not true.
Did you come out of the womb? Like, haven't you ever seen the movie Little Man with the Wayans
Right.
brothers? Horrible movie. But the one thing it did get Kerry Washington, the fact that you got Scandal after being in that movie proved that someone likes you.
Yeah.
But that movie has where you have okay, he's not a baby. Watch the movie. It's absolutely not the worst thing in the world.
Mhm.
But anyway, they had a tattooed baby. That to me is you. Like you came out of the womb with at least one piece of ink. Like how that happened, I don't want to know. But Bradley 2 days out of the womb is flexing. Like at least the beginning of a sleeve. That was me. That's my thought process.
I
Full
love it. I
beard
love
and
it.
one tat. All right, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. So for this week, we decided because we are now over 1 year old.
That's
So
podcast drinking age, I believe. And
I
by the way,
believe
did I mention my infinity mug, sir?
you did, and it's such an infinity mug that I cannot see it.
You know what though? When I get to the bottom of this, if I snap my fingers, it may refill.
Where's Doctor Strange at?
You know, but are you happy, Bradley? By the way, Brad, this will be our signal. Speaking of that, okay, I don't know we've had our tangent, but really, speaking of that, you're in the middle of a battle. What
Mhm.
if Tony didn't notice that? That's a real innocuous symbol. The whole, you
What?
know, like what? I mean, he was beaten up. He was sore, kind of
Yeah.
bloody. You know, like what is the whole? And remember, and this is our we'll call the BS, and we need to podcast about future BS moments. Remember earlier in Infinity in Endgame
Mhm.
where Doctor Strange tells Tony, if this, because he asks, is this the one, right? Is this the scenario that we win out of the millions that we fail? And Strange then tells him, if you know, then you won't do what needs to be done. Fast forward a little bit, he tells him that it's that one. So, and he still obviously did what needed to be done, because
Yeah.
again, I am Iron Man. Um, if Ozzy Osbourne has not gotten royalties on, yeah, thank you, all the feels. If Ozzy Osbourne has not gotten hella royalties based on that, something's wrong.
I mean,
Something's
he
wrong.
released a new album.
Well, and he's also still married to Sharon, so
Right, man. I love Ozzy. I don't think I've listened to any of his newer stuff. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne is a rock god.
true. And given what he did in our lovely hometown of Des Moines, Iowa, he is also truthfully the Bat Man.
Yes. He definitely is. Uh
More so than Jared Leto was in more. Oh God, that was horrible. That was just bad.
Morbius. What, you didn't like
That
that? I
that
am Venom.
was for every for everyone that criticized him as the Joker. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Okay. All right. I'm taking us down too many rabbit holes, sir. Take it away.
All right. Well, no, we're just. I just wanted to talk, get your thoughts on some of your favorite episodes from Prevenge over the last
Sure.
year.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the different things that we've done that you liked a lot, and some
Mhm.
of the things that would you want to revisit?
Okay. I love when we kind of pick something we thought was kind of our Mount Rushmore of things.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite episodes was when we just sat there and unpacked Princess Bride.
Mine
We've
too.
talked about, if there is a perfect. So Brandon and I officially call what we do the nerdverse, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
jump from DC to Marvel to fantasy. We're both old enough that the '80s was at least somewhat okay. We were neither one of us were old enough to drink in the '80s, and there were no cell phones. So we rely on memory.
Mm-hmm.
We have some fond memories of the '80s and the '90s. Kanga, all those lovely things. For me personally, I was talking to somebody about Lost Boys. God love Jamie Gertz. I mean,
Mm.
just. I mean, you could in the '80s. Damn me, take my soul. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we talked a lot about those things. So we talked about the Princess Bride. It's kind of being one of those perfect movies. It's probably right there. Maybe Spaceballs would be the only thing that could really compete with it. But for folks that have our similar level of awesomeness, probably one of the most quoted movies ever. I've talked before. I posted this on my Facebook page before that if I throw out something, if I go, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. If you can't pick up that line, we cannot be friends. We
Prepare to
can.
die.
We thank you. We cannot be friends.
As you
All
wish.
yes, my dude. You know, if I go, we talk about the chaos cloaks and all those things. Like if you don't know, and I'm clarifying a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There I am. Hi. Or we
Whoa.
or maybe we lost listeners. Now we start on Princess Bride. Hopefully,
A bit. We started talking Princess Bride and the Big Brothers. They just said,
yeah.
"Screw it."
Yeah, the guys that want to be manly for their partners. No, I don't know anything about that movie. And damn good and well, okay, when Wesley and Buttercup kissed at the end, you felt something too. You're dead inside if you didn't. Okay, I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying, you're crying. We all cried. It's okay.
Yeah.
By the way, back to Princess Bride real quick because it's one of my favorite episodes. Here's an unsung hero from that movie. We talk about Wesley. We talk about Inigo Montoya. We talk about all the things. You know who is the most unsung hero in that entire film? The horse that was picked to hold Andre the Giant. Because think about it. You got to be looking like, oh, you got Robin Wright Penn. Oh, easy day for you. Oh, okay. You got Carrie Lewis. Okay, all right. You got thin Mandy Patinkin before Criminal Minds
Yeah.
did what it did to Mandy Patinkin. And then Aaron was kind of looking around at you, and the trainer had to go a horse whisper you and say, "This too shall pass." And you're wondering why people are making a sign of the cross.
Yeah.
Like why there's like 3 vets on standby, and all of a sudden you just hear French behind you, and then all of a sudden like it's like the worst moment, it's like it had to be like Club 54 in the 70s when your friends leave you, like you hear the door lock behind you. I'm sorry, I'm going down a dark path. But anyway, like Andre just that horse. And I've never met this before, like RIP. Because we know.
Mm.
We know. We know, but we don't know. But we know.
Right. Right. And
Okay.
we never will.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, with our perfect
I think
movies
they used the
episode.
glue for that to fix maybe some of the scripts. They got I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that I mean, like the only other movie that I could think of that off the top of my head, kind of in the same vein, is Never Ending Story.
Hmm.
And we talked about that
We
too, but
unpacked that as well.
Right, but yeah, I mean, I think all in all, that is our Princess Bride, where we even did our own sequels or
Yes,
prequels to
yes.
Princess Bride because
But
Princess
what?
Bride can never be remade.
No. And by the way, if there's anyone in Hollywood working on that screenwriting, that's really working on that idea, put it away.
Hmm.
Put it away. And I'm asking our entire Nerdverse universe, our like 8 listeners right now, seriously, if there's a Princess Bride 2 that comes out, don't go watch it. Don't. I mean, we've had different things. We've had a new interview with the vampire. We've had new Dukes of Hazard. We've got all these things that are redone. We don't like the third or fourth version of the Equalizer. By the way, I had to talk to my son the other day. He goes, "So the Equalizer, that was a movie, right?" No, well, no, it was a show that became a movie that had a sequel that's now a show.
And
All
getting
right,
another sequel
and get another sequel. So
with Denzel.
well, okay. So that's what we need. We need Equalizer like Battle Royal. So the old white guy that played the Equalizer, who's probably passed at this point. I think it was in the '60s when the show came out. And now you got Denzel, and now you've got UNITY, Queen Latifah. Like if they had a battle, like we had like a triple threat death battle, like since Vincent Mann's not doing anything else, when he can book this. My money is on Queen Latifah. Just like if we really bring who's got the fire, who's got the funk, it absolutely is Queen Latifah. If she brings back the old hat, and again, if you don't know the old hat, again, go back and find your 80s and 90s hip hop. You'll know the Queen's crown that she used to wear. Okay.
So I am not a fan of the new show. I could
I
not
can
get
take it or
into it.
leave it. I can take it or leave it. Yeah.
He died in 2009.
Okay. All right. Which had to
Edward
be.
Woodward.
Thank you. I remember the first time it was air. I couldn't remember the last. And the best thing the Equalizer gave us was that theme song. I mean, that was just. I mean, and by the way, for not to throw shade on shows now, but the '80s just had just badass theme songs.
Mm.
The Equalizer, Knight Rider, even the
18.
80, even the sappy ones like Growing Pains and Golden Girls. Like come on
Mhm.
now, you can just be at a supermarket and Thank You for Being a Friend comes on. And of course the king of all 80s show soundtracks, Miami Vice. Like
Yeah.
Phil Collins didn't even need to make an album in the '80s. He just need to be, we joke about Whitney
Him
Houston.
Peter Cetera.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, I watched Karate Kid Part 2. I still prefer Part 2 to Part 1. Uh, uh, you know, uh, uh, it gets a little creepy when you unpack, the theme song, because it's kind of like Dan and Mr. Miyagi had a different kind of relationship. Because, but remember, Brad, no matter what happens, I am the man who will
Who will
fight for
fight?
your honor. I'll be your hero that you've been dreaming of.
Thanks. I needed that. I needed that today.
Yes.
I really
And
did.
remember, Bradley, this not tournament. This for real. Poor, poor Pat Morita. And again, love the movie.
R.I.P. Yeah.
But for RIP, but Pat Morita fluently spoke English.
Yeah.
Fluently spoke English. So you gotta wonder when they brought him that script and he had to speak in the broken English. And yes, the character's an immigrant, all this sort of stuff. I get it. But I'm just curious for Pat Morita, did he have to go, we just couldn't have his English be better?
So I can answer that actually. So
Sure.
he brought that accent in when he auditioned,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
part of what got him the part. So I
So you saying
remember
Arnold from
watching.
Happy Days wouldn't have landed him, Mr. Miyagi?
Right, like Van Damme and Predator. Um,
The muscles from Brussels. Okay. Yeah.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
and we all love Van Damme movies. I
I
mean,
just feel like Van Damme right now, wherever he's going, he's wearing like the old Zuba shorts, like the rainbow
right,
that
yeah,
was like a little tight in the buttocks area for no good reason. You
right.
know the ones I'm talking about? Like I feel
I
like
do.
that's like his deal. If he's over in Europe where it'll get like
Mhm.
negative 18 degrees, he's still like just strutting through, the coffee shop. He's going to the market, showing you the power of the butt cheeks. Like, yeah.
Have you seen his daughter acts now?
Really?
She's done some martial arts movies, and she's done a couple with him as well. I can't think of her name, um, but and I haven't watched a Van Damme. I mean, like uh, Van Damme will forever be known for Bloodsport and Kickboxer,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
those are both
And of course, No Retreat,
no
No
surrender.
Surrender.
Yes, yes.
When he was so roided up. Oh
Oh
my
my
God!
gosh.
If you've never seen No Retreat, No Surrender, it's a thinly veiled Bruce Lee ripoff. Okay, and say it's thinly veiled. They don't call the guy. They use the name Master Lee and don't call him Bruce. That's the only. That's the only thing that probably they didn't have to get rights from the estate. Okay, because the actor looks so much like Bruce, it's not even funny. That being said, just Google the images. Google Jean Claude Van Damme from a movie called No Retreat, No Surrender. He's supposed to be Russian because apparently, being from Brussels and being from Russia, same thing. He's got this. Basically like he played a knockoff Drago. He had slick back blonde hair, and he is so puffy from obvious steroid use.
Yeah.
Obvious steroid use. It's funny that I mean, he had the flexibility. The fact he didn't pull something like he was so buffed up, they could have called him Triple H. Like I mean, he was that ready
Hmm.
on the roid. So, by the way, Jean Paul Levesque, Triple H. Um, I'm a lifelong fan of the WWE.
We've had episodes
We've had
devoted to you guys.
episodes,
Yeah.
bruh, your wife, the whole McMahon family, hey, I think she signed the NDA is fine.
Mhm.
It's fine. Okay? Like she broke the rules. It's a non-disclosure agreement and she disclosed, so she broke the agreement. Just please, I don't two things. Don't sue us. And can you please take the network off of Peacock? It's just so bad. It's just bad. All right. All right, Bradley. I am taking us on far too many
Oh,
tangents. What
see,
do you got
I
for me?
was looking up Jean Claude Van Damme. He was actually in Minions: The Rise of Gru. Like he was Jean Claude, I guess,
Mm.
but whatever. Other than that, man, like, what do you think that we need to do more of the episodes like we did for Princess Bride, where we keep things more in check like that, and we just kind of stick it on for a
Well,
movie?
a couple things I've been thinking about that we haven't done in a while, and it's kind of interesting we're doing this in October. I like when we were Sunday, and we don't need to do it every month. I think that gets a little tedious, but I kind of miss when we have like a theme at least for a few
Hmm.
episodes. So when we did like last October, we had every week was a play on some type of Halloween
Yeah.
theme. I also do like that idea of really diving deep into a movie. So we did that with Princess Bride. We did that with Never Ending Story. I
Hmm.
think we should definitely do Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
Again, I mean, and one thing we keep saying, I think it was about 3 or 4 podcasts. We've talked before about who would be our Mount Rushmore of the Nerdverse, and I think
Hmm.
we've all agreed that 2 of the 4 slots are taken. One being by Samuel L. Jackson, the L stands. That's twice I've mentioned him, and the other, oh shoot, why am I blanking on his name? Sam, geez, Ash from, oh God, help me. Um, oh goodness.
Bruce Campbell.
Thank you, Bruce. I don't know where Sam came from. Bruce Campbell. So I think we kind of got 2 of our 4 slots.
I
But who
got you,
would be
buddy.
the
I know where you're going.
yeah, okay. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you have true camaraderie. When you understand, when you're picking up what I'm putting down, okay?
Right.
For my 11, he is Will. He is Will. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Bradley, I can't quit you now and forever, sir.
Of
Okay.
course. I mean, we've been together for a year, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, this is our. I mean, again, in podcast universe, if we were a legit WWE tag team, we'd have broken up at least 3 times.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And fought each other and everything. But yeah.
yeah. I mean, we'd at least had. I'd have thrown you through Bruce Bar Beefcake's mirror. At this point, we'd have had at least one table match.
Yeah.
One of your kids, I say I'm the dad. It would be,
Right.
it'd be great. And for some strange reason, Shawn Michaels will be involved. So yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, which is my wife's like
Please
crush.
don't.
My what? Yep. It's
Sean.
just
Okay, maybe
Shawn
this will
Michaels.
get rid of this. Does she know his real name?
I
His
don't
real
know.
name is Michael Hickenbottom. I kid you not. That is legitimately Shawn Michaels. That's why he changed his name to
Shawn
Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels.
I mean, the
His
answer's in the
legit,
question.
his legit real name, his first name is Michael. Hence, Michaels is the last name.
Mm.
But his legit last name, you can go to. I'm not kidding you.
I believe you.
Is
I think I've heard that
is
before, actually.
is Hickenbottom.
Yeah,
Hickenbottom.
that's
So
awesome.
just keep that in mind,
Mm.
okay? Just keep that in mind. Brad, we've talked this before. Who right now? I think you've already said this before, but just real quick for finish up our tangent. You got one choice. Who is your absolute favorite professional wrestler of all time?
Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam and Chris Jericho are my all-time favorite.
Okay.
I mean, you have The Rock, you have your
Please
Stone
tell me it's
Colds, but
WWE Chris Jericho, but AEW Chris Jericho's a little strange.
WWE,
Okay.
WWE.
All right.
I've
Yes.
only watched a couple
Y2J.
episodes
Okay.
of AEW, but yeah, Y2J,
Yep.
the first undisputed champion
Beat The
of
Rock
WWE.
and Stone Cold Steve Austin the same night. Yes, sir.
Yes, and Triple H too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, so that was a heck of an accomplishment. Mine will always go down to either being between Bret Hart and The Rock. But yeah, I got to tell you, Y2J and RVD, and hopefully RVD will get into the Hall of Fame sooner
I hope
versus
so.
later. My guess is they got to do a hair test, like before they put him, give him a microphone. Come here, Rob. Okay,
Yeah,
go real quick.
he is in a
Uh,
very public thruple.
is he really?
Yes, and the thrup. Yeah. Google it.
You. By the way, if your name is Rob Van Dam, or I should say Rob Van
Van
Dam,
Dam.
you should be in a throuple,
Yes.
okay? Because he is the whole effing show. Okay, all right, let's get us
Woo.
back on track. But no, I definitely think I would love if we kind of did some revisit of again our theme for. Whether it's a month or just a few shows, I definitely think the themes I miss doing that again. Doesn't have to be every single month. And I also really like the idea. And my favorite show, just for me personally, I think The Princess Bride was great overall. But one thing that I really enjoyed, and it's coming up, was we did our Thanksgiving episode, and who we invited to Thanksgiving dinner, and
Yeah.
everyone that I invited was some version of a character that was played by, again, third time mentioning him,
Samuel L.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson, with an L stands for So I think it was Frozone, Nick Fury, Jules from Pulp Fiction. I forget the rest of the
Hmm.
characters that I brought in, but it was just a lot of fun to play with that. So I think there's things that we can do with that. So those things are always really fun.
Sweet. Yeah. Other than that, I want to hear your chat, and I got something for you as well.
All right,
And we'll do that. We'll talk a little bit about Eraser, and then I got some quick pitches for you because I had way
gotcha.
too much fun last week doing it. So I'm doing it again.
Gotcha. All right. So mine will be super short because I had a lot of fun with the enemy ally Boo. So I figured I would bring it back one more time. So the rules for enemy ally Boo are basically this. I'm going to give you a character and I'm going to give you three possibles. And you must say that one of the possibles is it must be an enemy. So basically a friend. One must be an ally. I'm sorry, an enemy, basically an enemy. So when they're trying to
Hmm.
fight against an ally, a friend, and then a boo. So again, because it's getting cold, it's getting close to cuffing season. So with
Yes.
that being said, the character is one Optimus Prime, full on matrix of leadership. Okay, Bradley,
Hmm.
do you know Optimus Prime's name pre using the matrix of leadership and ascending to leadership of the Autobots? What was his name before
Oh,
that?
I did it one time, and I'll probably
I'll
I'll
give
go
you
with
I'll give you one hint. The initials are the same. OP.
right. Overpowered. Yeah. It was like optimal something. I'm
It
pretty
it was
sure.
it was Orion Pax.
Orion Pax. That's right.
Orion Pax. All right. So you got Optimus, and here are his options for again enemy, ally, or boo.
Hmm.
And we're sticking with the vehicle theme. So the A Team van, Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters, or The Night Industries 2000, aka Kit. So who is your enemy? Who's your ally? Who's your boo?
All right, let's see here. All right, you ready?
I am, sir.
My enemy is Echo One.
Fair. Fair.
My ally is Optimus Prime. I mean, absolutely, like there was no question there. Optimus Prime would have to be my ally.
Hang on. Optimus is your person. So
Oh gosh,
yeah,
so I'm
Optimus is
Optimus.
your person. So your three options are the
Oh,
the A-Team van, Ecto One, and Kit. So who is Optimus's enemy? So you said
okay.
before that the ally of Optimus Prime would be Ecto One. You don't stick with that?
I'm gonna stick with it, and my ally will be. Actually, no, I'm gonna change it. My enemy is gonna be A Team, the A Team van.
Okay. Okay.
My ally is gonna be Echo One because that makes an awesome transformer.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
of course, my boo is gonna
There's
be
only
Kit.
one choice.
Right.
Okay. The only other sentient vehicle, it would have to be Kit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Um however, part of me goes when I suggested this was poor Kit going, what are you doing back there, Optimus? Because it was just I just feel like
That is my exhaust,
can
Optimus.
you can you imagine poor David Hasselhoff getting in going, you smell that, Kit? No, Michael, I do not. Like, did you go to the car wash?
But it'd be more like, no, Michael.
Yes.
I
Poor Kit would be just going down the street holding his front
uh,
tires in his hands. Like,
oh man, like Michael, they changed the voice.
yes. Can you imagine Optimus going back to the ark, getting like fist bumps with like Jazz and Bumblebee? Like, hey, how's it going, bro? Like, like you feel like Starscream would have been there, like taking inappropriate pictures and
He's
leaking them on
dancing
the
to the
internet. Yeah.
he's
Oh
dancing
God.
to the Knight Rider
Oh
song.
yeah. Oh yeah. Do 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 do.
I love it.
And you know Optimus would ghost Kit. Like
Oh, for
every
sure.
time, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So
Hey,
like
can
poor
you part?
Michael, last part of this, poor Michael's going to trying to go on an adventure and Kit's over there in the desert. Like, what are we doing out here? Shh, don't ask me any questions, Michael. Yeah, like, yeah. No one quits Kit.
And
No
then
one.
then Kit pulls into the truck. The
Yeah.
oh yeah, awesome.
Megatron would be Kit's like, oh god, the things. Okay.
Oh dude,
All right.
dude, dude.
Okay.
All
Okay, sir.
right. So
Save
I'm
us.
gonna do some more quick pitches
Please
for
do.
quick pitch. So it was so much fun last week. I'm gonna do it
Okay.
again, and
Are these
this
songs
time
again or different?
these are all songs,
Okay.
all songs, and all songs from the '90s.
Boom.
We're gonna start with "The Sign" by Ace of Base.
All right, this is the easy one. Okay, so the sign we're gonna do a totally religious, similar to Da Vinci Code,
Mm.
this murder mystery, and everything's gonna be fine in the sign. So we're gonna bring the Illuminati into this. So again, you've got someone, and again, they see the sign in artwork and architecture. You could cast it over in the UK. What this Europe period where you got all this great old architecture, sitting down in South America, Africa, showing the sign, and then again trying to solve some major mystery. So that would be my pitch for the sign.
Awesome. All right, "Wonderwall" by Oasis.
Okay, so I would just take literally the name of the Wonder Wall. So this would be similar to the sign. I'm having prophetic visions of the wall, and on
Mm.
the other side of the wall are demons that's going to
An
bring about the
Oasis, perhaps.
sir. You can even have the Gallagher brothers just show up there to fight. But like this be some pub in Ireland.
Right,
I think
right.
they're Irish. I think they're Irish, and they just fall out of the pub, beating the hell out of each other. Like on the third episode, just keep it pushing. But the Wonder Wall would be someone's having prophetic dreams of this wall that separates humanity from the end of the world, and it's slowly breaking. So our job is to save the Wonderwall.
Nice. All right. Now, we can't talk about Wonderwall without a bittersweet symphony.
The Bittersweet Symphony. Okay, so this will be a murder mystery. So,
Ooh.
you have a young woman who plays the cello, let's say, and her whole goal was to play on the same stage as her father. She joins the orchestra, the symphony, and it's going to be her first performance. She gets there. Her father is really distant, tries to actually get her fired before that day, and right as they get ready to go on to performance, there's a lone gunshot that kills her father as he falls dead, and she now works with the police to figure out who killed her dad. And the real question is her father really her father? Because at the end of the
Ooh.
day, it is truthfully a bittersweet
Bittersweet.
symphony.
Yes, it is. Now, this time we're going to go under the bridge. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't ever wanna feel okay. Um, under
Like I did that day.
under the bridge. So we can do this a couple. I'll give you two different pictures for this. So number one, let's make it a real world thing. So we talk about that. We've done this with shows that talk about ER dogs. We've done shows that talk about EMTs, people that talk about first responders and firemen. We've never had a show that focuses on like homeless outreach. So let's do that. So this would be a show that follows relief workers. You can do it as a reality show or scripted television where they're working saving the homeless. Okay, so that's under the bridge one way. The other one under the bridge would be let's take the idea of Billy Goat's Gruff, okay, and play it out. All right. So not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So
Well played.
so the two bearded guys, okay. So now we're talking about the bridge over the water, all these things that bring the supernatural. That was one of my favorite things about Grimm. In fact, I may start.
Mhm.
By the way, another way back
Great
throwback.
show.
Great show, fantastic show. I actually prefer her in Grimm than being Lois Lane, but definitely check out Grimm. But take a play on that of again Billy Goes Gruff, saving the world again, crossover water, separating again the world of the real versus the world of the fantastic. That could be our under the bridge. The,
Very
the, the
cool.
main character doesn't notice, but they're half fae, half human. So they learn about the supernatural world again to protect us from the trolls, the goblins, the gremlins, that sort of thing.
Nice, nice. Now, would this be some California love?
Oh, this would be again, this would okay, so I know we got kids that listen to the show, so I'm gonna try and watch myself this way. But this would be a retrospective in the 70s about the adult film industry. Okay.
Okay.
So think about Boogie Nights as a series, okay?
Okay.
But this one we make the lead female instead of male because I don't never see that much of Mark ever again in life. Uh, you know, but you gotta wonder, would his co-stars be considered the Funky Bunch? All right. So with this, we have a young woman close to California. She wants to be in movies. Well, she winds up being in movies, but not in a way. And her her pimp, if you will say this, would actually be Elizabeth Hurley, not Elizabeth Hurley, Elizabeth
Heather Graham.
Berkley. No, well, I wish, right? But no, Elizabeth Berkley, because I think Elizabeth Berkley, I'm one of the few people that thought she had potential in her character in Showgirls. It was just such a badly written movie.
It was.
She did the best that she could. If you saw her in Any Given Sunday, and I just think it would be great if we made it back in the 70s or the 80s, the first time we see the Liz Berkley character. You know, it's playing on the radio, Bradley. I'm so excited, just can't hide it. You know, and maybe there's diet pills up
Right,
on the
right.
cabinet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, first off, anyone that's ever seen Saved by the Bell knows exactly that episode.
Yes.
And I would do that. In fact, when I think about it, that's what I would do is that I would actually have people from Saved by the Bell throughout RP to Dustin Diamonds, so we can get Screech. But I would have Mario Lopez. I would have Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I would have Mark Paul Gosselaar. I would have Locke Voorhees if she's well. There's another lot where he struggles with a lot of mental health concerns.
Hmm.
But I would have, I mean, Dennis Haskins. Well, I think maybe Mr. Belding passed away. I'm not sure, but I would have as many people, not regular cast, because now you just made it Saved by the Bell, but made it
Yeah.
immature.
Yes.
But I would
Yes.
have those people guess other than Elizabeth Berkley, just for little things. I think would be a great way of retelling it, and that would be my version of California Love.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, I think I know exactly where your head's going to go with this, but
I don't, so this would be very interesting.
Sabotage from the Beastie Boys.
There's only one place to go with something called Sabotage, featuring the Beastie Boys. I don't even know if this is where you're going. Here's where I'm going.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a show about the IRA trying to destroy America, trying to fight back, and there's only one person. We're gonna have the IRA that's involved in the bombing of the United States, so we have to go. And I see Nick Cage as being like this American federal agent who goes. He's got to go and find this member of the IRA who we locked up and
It
threw
is
away the
John
key.
Travolta.
I wish. No, we're getting there. Similar to The Rock, and I actually really like The Rock, the
Yeah, so do
movie
I.
and the wrestler. So, of course, we put him into prison. Similar, I'm still one from Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. We threw him into prison and we threw away the prison. Is threw down the hole and threw away the hole. Is that you unlock the door and we find this member of the Irish Republican Army who even in his solitary confinement cell, just for redundancy and ludicrousness, is still chained up, and is the one, the only Liam Neeson. And his goal is, as a former IRA bomber, to save us from the sabotage. Sometimes, and this is a
Done.
tagline, sometimes a hero is the ultimate villain.
Love it. Love it.
All
Love
right,
it.
what else you got for me, sir?
That is going to lead right into you get what you give the new radicals.
Wow. You get what you give the new radicals.
Right. What is
Okay.
the yeah.
All right, fine. So we gotta play. We're gonna do a spin on. Okay, one of the movies that I really watch when I just want to feel good about some things is actually Pay It Forward with Haley Joel Osment, Helen Hunt, and the extremely creepy we'll just leave it there. Okay. But I really like that deal. That's just a feel good movie. You do things, you pay it for. So you get what you get. So this would be one of those. This would be the old school CW WB. This makes you feel good type Everwood type of shit. Well, not quite Everwood. Because no one to watch, I felt good about what just happened.
Right?
But this would be kind of like Seventh Heaven, but without the weird dad.
Mm.
Yeah. Stephen Collins, wherever you're at, good luck. But it was really be kind of like a good family drama where you're full of good people. And again, you get what you give, which is them putting good back in the world. Maybe have them tasked with a higher power, kind of like touched by an angel. Your job is to put good into the world and watch good things happen to other people. So it would just be something that would show up, that would be on the television like at 7 o'clock on a Sunday. We don't care about the ratings. It's something for us to do because everybody's watching football. So the few people that aren't watching football can watch the show with their kids and just feel good about things.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. November Rain from Guns N' Roses.
No Axel. That's just this whole show. No Axel. There's no Axel Rose. No Axel Rose. And then you can get if you want Chris Hemsworth to show up since apparently he's the missing member of Guns N' Roses. By the way, that might be what Guns needs to do. Okay, they need to get rid of Axel Rose, and even though Chris Hemsworth, I don't know if he can sing or not, but
It don't matter.
just have Chris Hemsworth shirtless, lip syncing Axel Rose. Because guess what? No one's gonna care.
And those are the best parts of the dude. The Guns N' Roses was perfect for Thor.
Oh my God. I mean, that was literally if Guns N' Roses and Flash Gordon had a baby. I mean, that was
Right.
that. And you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if Axel Ill from between like 89 and 93, if that might have been a possibility. That might have been a possibility. Okay. So November Rain would basically be again, we want to live in our world of the sci-fi, the fantastic. Is there is sorry, I saw myself disappear. November Rain is an idea of where we have a major climate issues that start in the month of November, and we have a month to try to solve the problem. Okay, so you can elongate, with every episode, but this would be kind of like how 24 is presented, where you would have, each episode was an hour. Like if you would do this over a couple, 3 seasons, every episode of November Rain would be 1 day. So November has 30 days, I think. So if you did 30 episodes, as well as a
Three
streaming
seasons.
service, you can do 3 seasons
Mhm.
out of it with them again trying to save the world with some environmental calamity, and you call it November Rain.
Well, I like that a lot too. All right. Black Hole Sun, Soundgarden.
I feel like all these would sound are also. Yeah, how many songs in the 80s and 90s could have also been adult film titles? Just like, I mean, we may have missed the boat during our childhood. Like none of us asked that question. Um, uh, so we're gonna pull out of the archives Delroy Lindo, okay? Because I didn't think Delroy Lindo got enough run in the core, so this is gonna be his chance. So we're gonna go straight up Armageddon. The United States government has asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no? And in that scene, I really felt like Steve Buscemi really wanted to say no.
Right?
He really wanted to say, "Oh, by the way, real quick, a little thing that you may not know." So, did you know? So, I'm assuming you've seen Pulp Fiction,
Yes.
which stars Ving Rhames.
Yes.
Did you know that Steve Buscemi actually named Ving Rhames Ving Rhames?
No.
Him and why am I blanking on his name? I just mentioned other House of Cards, Kevin Spacey.
Mm,
So Bing Rames, Kevin Spacey, and Steve Buscemi were all living in New York. Steve Buscemi legit used to be a New York fireman.
I knew that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but those three were really good friends going through acting school. And Bing Rames' real first name is Irving.
Hmm.
And they were apparently the story for this been cited multiple sources. Buscemi and Kevin Spacey go, "You don't look like an Irving. Doesn't Irving Rames, that doesn't roll." So they played with it and came up with the name and the spelling of Ving for Irving, Rames, and they named him Ving Rames. And that actually, so next time you watch Pulp Fiction, you can thank Steve Buscemi and Kevin Spacey for the name of Steve for Ving Rames.
And another underrated actor, which
Yes.
besides Tom Cruise, is probably the best part of all the Mission Impossibles.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he steals Pulp Fiction, all the Mission Impossible movies, Baby Boy. I mean, come on, he made Tyrese like an actor. There's so many. Another movie that I'm a really big fan of, Undefeated, with him and Wesley Snipes.
Oh
Really
yeah.
good, really, really good. Come on now, and of course, him and Con Air. Come
Hmm.
on, how cool was that? Hillbilly. Come on, that was just great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
By the
so
way,
good.
if you're on the same set with Ving Rhames, and for some reason they have communal showers, I'd be real uncomfortable. Like, let's say you're in the middle of the Mojave Desert, you're trying to save water. Look, we gotta have communal shower. Nope,
I'm good. I'm
nope.
good.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm
all
done.
right. Yep. Put me downwind, give me some Febreze and a fan. It'll be okay. Yes. Yes, absolutely. All right, sorry about that. But what's the name of the show that we're doing again? Black Hole Sun?
Black Hole Sun.
Okay, so Delroy Lindo again, because I loved him in the core, but I felt like he got a little shortchanged. Delroy Lindo is going to lead us, list us our team of astronauts. This is making a core reunion. Okay, so we give them new characters because again, so many of these folks died.
Hmm.
But you give me Hillary Swank. See, until she shows up in Cobra Kai, you got to give me her in Black Hole Sun. Give me Aaron Eckhart. Give me Stanley Tucci. Get him back from Italy doing a show for the Food Network. And we're going to go save the world from a black hole. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call it Black Hole Sun. Our sun is imploding. Their job is to restart the sun. And of course, like any great disaster movies, if you've got 7 people in the cast, at least 5 of them got to die.
Hmm.
So we're going to have that happen. So that's going to be Black Hole Sun.
All right. Number one, the last one on
Sir,
my list for you to,
sir,
to quick pitch.
sir.
One of the greatest of songs that came out of the 90s.
Mbop.
Nope. Losing My Religion. REM. I thought about Mbop
Yes.
actually. I was like, no.
Okay, real quick, I'm putting this on our packer. Bop is a serious guilty pleasure of your boy. I don't know what it is about that song, but if it's on, I will stay in my truck until it plays out. Like Bop, we gotta hear from the end. It's actually on my phone. If it plays up like random, I'm like I'm getting yeah. Bop. I'm gonna stop there. Okay. Anyway, so the Hanson Brothers. If you ever want to place, you are the official band of the Prevent of the Nerd podcast. All right. So the show though, give it a song again. I'm sorry, I got it on
Losing
my
My
glove.
Religion.
Losing My Religion. Okay, so let's finish with a strong, serious note. So Losing My Religion is, and I like because I'm such a fan of Evil, and I think you're as well.
Mhm.
That what we have is, and I love the props, the original. I love the original prophecy. So let's take this. So you got something very similar to Elias Codius' character. You have someone that has lived a life of sacrifice and sanctity and really been committed to their faith. And right before they take their vows, they see some type of apocalyptic vision that destroys their faith in the Almighty. And then what their job, but they know that what they saw is true. What they saw is real. So you would even have this great scene where another character go, so you lost your faith because you don't think, because you don't believe in God, and you go, no, I lost my faith because I know there is a God. And I think that would
Ooh.
just be a great way to start the movie. And basically, they're there to again start to save us. In fact, what you could do in our preventive, this would be a great for the variant verse. What you have on one end are the people that are working on the sign and seeing all these visions and seeing all these things in architecture, and then you have that intersection.
Dude, you turn into a chipmunk. Sounds like a chipmunk. I don't know what you're saying. We started talking about losing my religion, and, and Big Brother wants me listening again. I got nothing. I will say though that was pretty comical though. I liked your quick pick.
Okay, how do I sound now?
Oh, sound perfect now. Now I was like,
Okay. I had an audio issue earlier in the day and I thought I resolved it, but apparently not completely. So
oh, it's okay.
all right. So what part did I go, Alvin?
Pretty much from the beginning of losing my religion,
Okay.
about the them go starting out where he lost his religion because he knew there was a God.
Okay, so here's a succinct version of that. So he loses his religion and then he's trying to save the world. So what I said was that then we'd have an intersection. Basically, again, these are not planned, folks, but the more I thought about it, it's what we would do. So we go all the way back to the first one, which was the signs. So you have in, let's say, like a Netflix series, them following through with all these signs, trying to stop the apocalypse. In the last episode of the Netflix series, we see the bridge into Losing My Religion movie. So let's say the last episode of the Netflix series is the beginning of the sequel to Losing My Religion. So you have the folks from The Sign joining with the cast from Losing My Religion to again stop the ultimate apocalypse. So that's how I would tie those two products together.
We really got to start writing all this stuff down.
Yes, and again, Warner Brothers, MCU, whoever, Disney, come holla at us. We work fairly cheap. Again, if you keep my infinity mug full, I will probably be a very happy camper.
Yeah, well, great job, Brian. I think my favorite out of all that was probably "You Get What You Give," "Losing My Religion," and "The Sign." So,
Very cool.
very, very, very good, very, very good. Now we need to talk about. We're gonna Eraser.
Yes, please. Let's eraser. Absolutely.
All right, so I'll give you a minute to think, but so here's what my pitch would be. So my pitch for Eraser to do a sequel would be a series,
Okay.
more like there was I can't even think of the name of it now. In Plain Sight,
Sure. 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 Sure.
but only is more of a like we are erasing your identity,
Sure.
and every episode is gonna be they're erasing somebody's identity, but there's a secret organization out there that is unerasing everybody,
Yes.
and then that's where all the conflict is gonna be. So they got some overarching thing, um, and that would be my pitch
Right.
for Eraser.
So my pitch for eraser would be this. So again, we still stay with Arnold, or maybe he's been promoted in the agency. But one thing that we saw in Eraser was that he doesn't fail, right?
Mhm.
So what happens if he fails or his protege fails? So they're to save Vanessa Williams and they fail, and he can't let that go. He realizes there's a mole inside of the agency, and he can't let it go. And what we wind up seeing is him on that quest to figure out what happens. And more importantly, as he delves closer and closer to the truth, he wakes up being erased. So if they kill him, it's too much of a martyr. That becomes asking more questions. So they do away with everything. So they take away his money, they take away credit card, they take away his home. Let's say he had a significant other, his wife and his children, or we'll make it really easy. He's married, no kids, where the wife actually denies him and goes, I don't know who you are, because she herself is under threat. So you can play it a little romantic thing of, I
Little
had to
Total
lie.
Recall.
Yeah, very much Total Recall. You play a lot of those things that only made sense in the 80s, and this will honestly give a nod to Total Recall Running Man. The villain, and check my math on this, the villain would be none other than Steve Harvey. Okay, so we're going to go straight up Family Feud. We're going to bring him back, and we're going to have Steve Harvey. Yeah, man. Steve Harvey with the $10,000 suits. And I'm sorry, Steve Harvey dresses like a super villain sometimes. So I don't think we need to do like any wardrobe choices there.
Right.
Whatever you wore to set, perfect. Perfect. He's already bald. I got to give him a hairless cat, and he's got Dr. Evil all written all over him. Okay. So that would be kind of a tongue in cheek thing. But how I would fix Eraser would be, instead of him being successful trying to continually save and erase Vanessa Williams, we have him actually fail. And if we're gonna do the casting, I think it'd be great to see Arnold with someone like Rihanna, who just
Oh,
was
very
like,
cool.
"What are you doing?" And we're about to have a cameo, so just be prepared, sir.
Wow, girl.
That
Well,
ask Leia, has she ever seen The Ring?
Leia, have you ever seen The Ring?
I've seen you guys watch it, but I haven't.
Oh, okay. Here,
That
you can
was
you can go
that.
ahead.
Hey, princess. So you're
Hi.
hi. So you're a little young for The Ring, but when you get older, you should watch The Ring. And if you remember tonight, you very much were given vibes like the woman, the little girl from The Ring. So I'll tell your dad that too. But that was very good. That was very spooky. Nice job.
Well, why are you looking like that, there, kiddo?
Yeah, give your dad the headphones. I'll let him know.
Ah!
Ouch. That was loud. All right.
That was
All right.
good.
Tell Brian bye.
Bye.
Oh, without breaking his ears?
Oh, what about yours? Can I break yours?
No, you cannot break my ears.
Break yours.
I can't. Oh God. All right, kiddos.
Oh.
I love
If
you.
I want to have to watch Stranger Things and Twilight, why am I not able to watch The Ring?
It's
Okay,
really,
you can watch the
yeah,
ring.
I don't want to.
Okay, you don't want to. That's fine.
yeah,
All right, but
good, smart,
well,
smart.
when we're done, we'll watch 911.
That one's not on yet.
Okay. Well.
It's not Wednesday.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
it. Oh,
think that's
okay.
you.
I got really excited. Like, oh, 911. Yeah,
All right, kiddo. We're almost done. We're wrapping
yeah,
up. Okay.
yep.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right,
Yes,
kiddo.
sir.
I'll
Okay,
see you
so
in about an hour.
All right.
5 minutes. Okay. So anyway, I was telling Leia, Jessica, I know she'll share this with you. I said that she's too young to watch The Ring. Oh, that cat. She's too young to watch The Ring. But when she's older, if she remembers this, she should watch The Ring, and told her she was giving off the Ring vibes, the way she approached you. When you watch this back, sir, you will see the way she approached you. All she had to do was come out of a television set, and she was totally living that best Ring lifestyle.
Samara, right? Wasn't that the girl's name?
I think so, but
Yeah.
it was almost like the one of the first really spooky movies with his Poltergeist. Like she seemed like she would have grabbed
Ooh.
Carol Ann. By the way, as much as you and I both love movies and television shows, the original Poltergeist really made me doubt. Because again, this is something that again in today's world you don't have that. But you and I are both old enough to remember when television went off, or you would have interruptions in signal because not everybody has satellite, where you got that test pattern, and it always was a little creepy. That movie made me, when the test pattern came on, I would just turn it off,
Mm-hmm.
because we used to leave it on to see when television came back on, right? I would turn it off and leave it off
Mm-hmm.
because I always felt like there was some way to take me to well, I guess now the upside down or the in between. Like it was just like, where we're going. So where where the Slayers are, or the Demogorgon or number one is waiting for us. So yeah.
Right.
So by the way, R.I.P. to the actor that played Carol Ann. I don't remember her name. But the first two, Poltergeist definitely jumped the shark after the sequel. But Poltergeist 1 and 2, that minister, and one of the truly great creepy characters
Yeah.
was the minister in Poltergeist 2. Uh, Come with me, child. And growing up in the South, I knew that dude. I knew that pastor, right? And I just like, wait, what? And my grandmother's very religious. You want to go to revival tonight?
Nope. Good. Good.
I'm
Good. I'm watching
straight
the ring.
up. Yeah. What about your soul? We'll figure it out. We will
Yeah.
figure it out.
Next week.
Okay. Yeah, Grandma, I'm gonna go get the people over in Europe that's following the signs, and then we gonna get together like I did that, and we gonna figure out how to save us. So yes. So again, another way back throwback.
Right.
Which if you've never, and that might be some future podcast we can do before the end of the month. It's come up with, and I think we really should do this. Come up with like our 5. If you want to watch horror movies, these are the 5 must-haves, and we'll
Oh
make our
yeah.
separate list. These are the 5 must-watch movies, and legit the things that either scared us or got us into horror or
Mhm.
whatever. I'm not the world's biggest horror fan, but I definitely have the ones that I think that if you're going to watch horror movies, these are the ones you watch.
Yeah.
So I think maybe for a future podcast, maybe next week, we can talk about the must watch from the horror list.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely do that. We'll talk about that out there. Brian.
Sir,
Are you ready to put a pin in it?
I am ready to pin a lot of things, sir.
All right, buddy. So tell us where can we find
As
Brian?
always, you can find me on Facebook at Brian Stephen Dennis. Feel free to give me a like, a follow, shoot me out a friend request. I try and keep my Facebook page somewhat interesting, somewhat live. I haven't posted in a few days. Academics come into that, but definitely give me a request or a follow. If you like the show, you like my humor, then definitely follow me on Facebook. And I guarantee I will give you more Winnie the Pooh posts than you are ever ready for.
All right, and you can tweet at me at Fandemic3. You can message me on Facebook at The Fandemic. I'm also active on TikTok at Fandemic1. You can hear my reviews and so much more. So now we do have an executive producer, Prevenge producer,
Yes.
Stacy. I want this as your show shout out. Stacy, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
Hey.
If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. One, you could buy me a coffee and Brian a coffee for that matter. And you know what? We will toast you on the next episode.
With the mug, the infinity mug. And finally, there it is. The infinity mug. Yes, sir.
And my Coors Light. And if you want me to try something else, I definitely will. You can find us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, episode producer, a Prevenge producer like Stacy, or become part of the Council of the Nerds. Yes, you can be part of the con starting at $5 a month.
But is it a dark con of man?
Ooh, very good. Very good.
Again, another title that could be an adult film. The Dark. No, that's con, not con. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Or you can become a monthly supporter on Anchor at anchor.fm/PVOTN. You can just go to PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butin. Or, you know what, if you don't want to help monetarily, do us a favor. Share the show with someone that you want to make a little more awesome. You can also buy my book, Leveling Up My Awesome.
I felt like I failed you this week. I think this is plug number 3, but I might have lost count there.
I mean, and I just happen to be the guy who wrote the book on Leveling Up My Awesome.
Yes, sir. And again, got to say it again. It is a nighttime reading that you will not need to scrub your browser history.
I'm going to make that my tagline for the book.
Yeah, that's what you do for a kid. Oh, real quick. My kid loves the book, and he again has said your next book should be a Choose Your Adventure book as well. So that's a second plug.
Awesome.
All you do is some version, copyright, and I'm sure is out there, but some type of Choose Your Adventure book.
I'm going to put that in. I've been thinking about it from last week, so we'll definitely. So don't forget to also leave us a 5-star review. Remember, we are live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So talk to us during the show. I didn't see any comments today, but that's okay. Now, Brian, I think we are at max levels of awesome for the week.
I agree, sir.
Let's end like we always do.
As always, thank you for leveling up your awesome with myself, my tag team partner, Bradley. Please remember that Goonies never say die and no retreat, no surrender, including with a puffy steroid-laden Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We're all playing the same game in life, just on a different level. Thanks for catching up. You're welcome for leveling up your awesome. Live free or die empty. Have a great day.
Andy, you Goonie.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
You gotta do the music, man.
Leia will get very angry.
You gotta give it to her. You gotta give the people what they want, sir.
We gotta hear the 10-year-old rap. Yes, we do.
She's still bearing a little yachty, so we're good there.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Butin has no idea who Lil Yachty is.
Get your earphones in, everybody, and everybody hear us out. We are Brad Butin and Brian Dennis, and this is.
That is not because of the volume of the audio.
We've got my dad leveling up your awesomeness, dropping knowledge of TV, movies, and comics. We've got Brian Dennis flexing his nerd muscles. How you level up your awesomeness? He will solve the puzzle. Just when you thought you've heard it all, a new episode will come along. Won't you like, subscribe, and rate our show? One last thing. Leave a 5-star review before you go. Oh, yeah!
All right. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.